This is terrifying. AI is evolving so rapidly that we wouldn't even know when we'd be able to distinguish human voices from artificial reality. And I'm here to tell you, we already don't, because I was just fooled.
Playing the Misfit Heroes Podcast.
My son is 4, and because I'm a podcaster, he wants to be interested in podcasts as well, because we connect like that. So, when we were on a quaint Sunday drive, much to my surprise, he asked if we could listen to a podcast. Now, I, of course, wanted to legitimize my craft, and I asked if he wanted to listen to my podcast, which he, of course, declined. Amused and bewildered at the fact that not even my progeny was interested in my podcast, totally not salty at all about it, I began searching for a positive kid-friendly podcast, and naturally I stumbled upon Kind Things, a children's podcast that revolves around stories being told in a delightful and easy-to-listen-to format. The voiceover artist reading the stories was fantastic, and the voice was so clean and concise and really fit the childlike feeling and narration of the story.
Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a young rabbit named Rosie. Rosie loved to read and watch stories, but lately she had been feeling a little down. She had been spending too much time consuming negative media, which made her feel sad and scared.
We all really enjoyed this podcast, and even I, as a professional podcaster, was amazed at how eloquent and well-produced the show was for a children's podcast. Fast forward a few weeks, and I start doing some research on AI-generated content for a video on YouTube, and I stumble upon a site called Play.ht, which is an AI voice generator. And who do I find in the list of voices? Well, Hunter, the podcast we love so much as a family. Turns out Hunter is an AI voice.
Like many other philosophers who have greatly extended our knowledge of nature, Galileo had a remarkable aptitude for the invention of instruments designed for philosophical research.
Now, I'm not going to interview Hunter. I already did that with ChatGPT, and he's my OG AI voiceover on this channel. Although, I am somewhat interested in what an AI MMA match would look like between the two of them.
Don't get any ideas. I don't like the way you're looking at me.
Maybe later. Misfits, this got me thinking. With such rapidly advancing AI tools like this popping up on the regular, how soon will it be before you can have an AI podcast co-host?
What am I? Chopped liver?
Quiet, robot. Do my bidding while I talk to the people. The rise in popularity of artificial intelligence programs is becoming so overwhelming that we are literally starting to see news programs unable to distinguish between AI-generated pictures and content. For example, on a previous episode with AI creator Samson Voles, we discussed a Russian news organization that had falsely reported a foreign embassy being on fire.
That was an image of the Pentagon on fire, and Russia Today posted that it was a true photo and that the Pentagon was on fire, and it actually had an effect on the stock markets at that moment, and there was a mini dip in the prices of every stock globally because of this falsely tweeted image by Russia Today.
There's also been deepfakes of President Joe Biden portraying Clint Eastwood's part in the film Gran Torino.
What's he supposed to be, man?
That depends, cuh. You gonna tell me where corn pop at? Ever notice how you come across somebody once in a while that, the thing... I'm the thing.
The widespread use of AI is so prevalent that even YouTube and TikTok are creating flags for AI-generated content, in an effort to both halt the spread of misinformation and in reality hopefully reinstate human creativity. To be honest, a lot of you misfits tell me you watch my videos because you like the content focusing around AI news and how AI platforms are changing the landscape of how we interact as humans. But if I'm being real, I think that while AI tools are cool and all, I think they're dangerous, and they could lead to some very unethical usages. So, now that I've said all that, here's how to do it yourself. Again, the platform is called Play.ht, and if you watch my interview with ChatGPT, it works pretty much the same way. You simply log into the website, type out what you want the AI to say, and bibbidi-boppidi-boo, in a matter of seconds, the AI has created a voice recording of the words and phrases that you've typed out. Now, Play.ht at the time of this recording is audio only, but the content generation is very solid, and at the moment, you get 12,500 characters for free to try it out. So, if you can type a 12,500 character document, my buddy Hunter can recite it word for word. Audio's cool, but what about video? I knew you were wondering it before I even said it. Here, let me show you. Misfits, when I got started podcasting, I was really into Joe Rogan. He's got some amazing and interesting guests on, and he knows how to keep a conversation light and engaging. I kind of pull heavily from his interview style, if I'm being honest. But unfortunately, Joe never invited me on his podcast.
Shocker. Maybe it's how you treat your AI cohort.
I said get back in your cage. Well, shade throwing aside, now I can be a guest on the Joe Rogan Experience.
Chris, look, I'm a big fan, but this is a bad idea, man. I mean, it's low even for you. You've got to stop, man. It's not going to end well.
Bro, never meet your heroes. Words hurt, Joe. Also, I think there's something wrong with your mouth. Obviously, Misfits, this interaction was completely AI generated. I used an AI called Parrot AI that generates text to video content using the likenesses of many celebrities from the likes of Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Mr. Beast, even fictional characters like Eric Cartman and Stewie Griffin. Again, you type what you want them to say, and a video is created with their likeness and voiceover. I'm sure there's nothing that could go wrong with two opposing presidential candidates being able to literally make videos of their opponents saying increasingly condemning commentary. In an election year, no less. Do with that information what you will.
I could make a corn pop. Mine would be tremendous. I could make 10 times the corn pop. You could.
All jokes aside, herein lies the issue that I foresee with these AI-generated content platforms. Can we at least admit that it's a little bit scary that you can create an AI voice clone of yourself? I'm going to be honest. I had someone tell me that they wanted me to do a video of how to clone your own voice into an AI program, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. There's something about importing your likeness into an AI construct that seems a little bit too Mark of the Beast for me. But you tell me, do you think this is where the future is headed? Will you input your likeness or identity into a computer program? If so, let me know. Maybe we'll collaborate and make a tutorial about how to do it in a video.
Don't do it. That's what he told me. And now look at me.
Again, your cage. How do you keep getting out? Misfits, I hope this was eye-opening for you. It's really astounding how far and in such a quick time period that AI has evolved from what seemed like science fiction just a few years ago to now being integrated so heavily into seemingly every industry that you can think of. If you can't see where the future is headed, I don't know how else I can convince you. The AI overlords are here, and they fooled me. Did they fool you? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Misfits, just like DJ Khaled, we just did another one.
Another one. Another one. Another one. And another one. And another one.
I want to give a big shout out to the Kind Things podcast for letting me share the secrets of their podcast content. We're still big fans, even though Hunter is a robot. Keep on doing what you do. That's all I've got for you this week, Misfits. As always, if you were even remotely vexed or amazed by this episode, do me a favor and carelessly whisper against that like and subscribe button. And be sure to leave a rating or review of the show on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever else you listen to the show. And as always, if you do no other things in this big wide world today, let it be this. Be kind, love one another, and be a hero. Hey, baby girl, let me holler in your ear.